All right, hi everybody, and welcome back. Phil Nagy on Sports, joined today by Kit Nagy as we bring you some more Week 5 action in our 2021 sim. Exciting matchup here at the top of the AFC East. Who would have thunk the Jets at 3-1? Rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, new look roster all over the place. But that man right there on your screen, Zach Wilson, has started off well, and they are 3-1. Of course, the usual top dogs, New England Patriots, trying to have a bounce-back season after so many of their guys opted out in 2020. Can Cam Newton do the job? So far, he's been pretty okay. They're also 3-1. So this is a Thursday night football game, hence the evening fireworks and special Jets jerseys. But excited to bring this one to you. Let's welcome in the better half of our broadcast team. Kid, how are we doing today?
Hey, Phil, doing well. Excited for this one. This is a bit interesting that the Jets have done as well as they have, and the Patriots for that matter. They're both rosters that feel like they're a little bit of ways from having some success. So the fact they're both 2-1 coming into this one, and Thursday night primetime game is kind of fun. So excited for this matchup. Excited to be back with more Nagy on Sports football. Love it.
Indeed. Sorry, just replying to the chat here. Welcome on, Rich. Welcome on, Luke. All right, let's get this one popping. They're asking about, is it time for Mac Jones yet? Cam's got him 3-1. It's hard for me to say. I mean, I would love to see Mac Jones play. Don't get me wrong.
I said 2-1 and I meant 3-1. Good point.
All right, here we go. Jets go ahead and kick this one off. It's going to be returned by Skronowski or something like that is the rookie receiver's name. And so trotting onto the field, Cam Newton again. Both teams 3-1. He's played pretty well, 879 yards, passing 5 TDs and 3 interceptions. Yeah, again, we're trying to be realistic, Rich. I just don't know when they go to Mac Jones. And my guess is if they're 3-1, it's probably not yet. Right side is the way he's looking, and he fires that way. Cam Newton, he's got a short gain to his tight end. That's Hunter Henry, of course, one of the big-time free agent pickups along with Jonnu Smith to reinvigorate the tight end room here in New England. I know, Rich. I would be up for it too, but we're trying to be realistic here, you know? We'll see how they progress through the rest of the season.
Right. Well, I mean, if Cam comes out and they end up 3-1, I mean, it'd be hard to predict that he'd lose the job with a 3-1 record.
Absolutely.
But if they were to struggle, that may be a different story. And again, this is a conversation we had last time we saw the Patriots, but it's kind of a bizarre setup where you really can't have the same playbook for your starter as you have or your projected starter as you would have for any of the other quarterbacks on your roster. So then do you install 2 separate playbooks or just one really, really big one? It's a very interesting dynamic going on there in Foxborough.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, a 2nd and 7. That was a nice 18-yard strike to Nelson Agholor, another of these new toys for Cam Newton to play with here in New England. Here's a handoff off the middle. James White bullying his way through one tackler and sort of falling across the 40-yard line. They will give him a gain of 3. That will set up a 3rd and 4. Hamza Nasirildeen, kind of that safety linebacker hybrid who we drafted a couple years ago when we did a fake Browns seasons.
That's right, he was good for us too.
He was setting up a screen left side is Sony Michel. Big time run, first down past the 50 into Jet territory. Sony Michel 10 yards and a first down Patriots.
First down Patriots.
Yes, Nasirildeen was pretty solid for us.
Mm-hmm.
We were ahead of our time with the big strong safety.
That's right.
Linebacker Rover.
That's right.
Sony Michel up the middle, his 2nd carry, LaMarcus Joyner, who again has played some good football here from the Jets, another one of those free agent pickups. So both teams spent a decent amount of money in free agency trying to get rich quick, so it were Here's a little angle route out of the backfield. Oh, sweet little spin move for James White. That's going to give him enough for the first down up to the 37.
It certainly makes you wonder with the Patriots for their get-rich-quick and spending all that money, if you will, how much of that was reactionary to Tom Brady going on and winning the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay.
Very possible. Here comes a blitz up the middle, and Cam's going to go down. Got half, and somebody else got half. 22 here now. Yeah, I also wonder, at least for both of these teams, if they're like, there's no way we can let Buffalo win the, I mean, Buffalo and Miami both have played, there's some sort of like, wait a minute, this is the AFC East.
Right.
We're supposed to be in charge, not Buffalo.
Right. And Miami, well, and it's interesting, like Miami is, my opinion, a quarterback away. They're one of those teams. There's maybe a handful of them in the NFL that are really a quarterback away from being very much. I mean, that defense, that roster is outstanding. Outside of, I'm not a big Tua believer, and I know you aren't either.
Our sim doesn't think they're very good either. They're getting boat raced.
Right, but that roster outside of Tua is awesome. And then what's interesting in our sim is the Bills. The Bills are we know good from real life, and yet Madden doesn't seem to think so for whatever reason. And the Bills are one of 3 teams in the NFL, us included, us being the Browns included, that brought back the entire offense, everything, all coming back for the Bills. Same with the Browns and same with Tampa Bay. So, and those are all very, 3 of the best, most high caliber offenses in the NFL. So, no, I don't see the Bills. I see the Bills most likely winning this division, even though our sim isn't showing that right now. Hey, Karen, welcome in. Go Browns.
Yep. Hi, Karen. Yeah, they've been. Yeah, we've talked about it before. It's Josh Allen is a player that they're not sure what to do with, kind of like with Baker Mayfield. They're kind of like refusing to let him be good in the game.
Right, but
even though we've artificially buffed him as much as we felt comfortable.
Right, but give him a year at that same success level if he, makes it to an AFC championship or what have you. I mean, I fully expect Madden to finally figure it out and go, okay, this guy's good.
Yeah, I would hope that both Baker and Josh Allen are better in Madden 22.
Oh, absolutely. You would certainly think so.
Yeah, there's a sack for Carl Lawson, speaking of high-priced free agents. So we've seen several of them. Up the middle, quick pressure. They're setting up a screen. Oh, it's actually going to call a fumble, and it's going to be scooped up, though, by James White. Very lucky there. This is going to set up a 3rd and goal now from the 29-yard line.
Yeah, those backward passes like that, that is technically a fumble. You throw it behind the line of scrimmage, even though although that was weird. It wasn't really like even backwards pass. It just kind of came out of his hands.
He reached high to start his throwing motion and then just kind of popped right out of there.
So yeah,
but
not even
no tuck rule there though.
Yeah, certainly not the tuck rule. It's interesting.
All right, so here you go, 3rd and goal from the 29. What do you draw up here? A dump off to James White to set up a better field goal, and they're going to do that up to the 23. Cam 9 for 9 on this drive, 95 yards. That's because they went backwards a few times with some penalties, that he would have 95 yards passing on this drive.
Right, and really only 9 for 9 because that last one was not that dump off, but the one before it was a fumble,
not an incompletion. Yes. Hey, George, welcome on. All right, 40-yard attempt here. Nick Folk the chance to start the scoring. This drive took forever.
That's right.
It was a 9-minute drive, and it's going to end in 3. So forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. Not really able to run the ball much. But Cam getting the job done here so far, spreading the ball all over the yard. And 3-0 is the result. So here is our opportunity coming out on the field here, as we get a little bit of a look at Robert Saleh, at least the closest Madden preset guy I could find to Robert Saleh.
Well, I'll tell you, in terms of Cam Newton's arm, I think that's relatively realistic. He just doesn't have the arm strength he once did with the elbow surgery he had, and so on. So spreading it out, not a lot of deep throws. That's pretty, and basically they're running it. That offense is running him like a full-on rental, running into the ground, which is kind of what you expect out of him. A lot of quick passes, and then a lot of that quick option RPO or scramble drill offense.
Indeed. 2 yards on the opening carry for Tevin Coleman. Here comes Zach Wilson, fires it over the middle. He's got a wide open Chris Herndon. That's his tight end. And as we saw with the Jets game a couple of weeks ago, he and Herndon have already some chemistry cooking here early into the season. That's a nice gain up to the 40 and a first down. Unlike the first Jets game, we will get to see their rookie running back, Michael Carter, who is a day one, day two pick for them. He's the other half of that really talented backfield in North Carolina had with Javonte Williams. And so you'll see him as kind of the third down back, shotgun back here, sharing some time in that backfield with Tevin Coleman, much the way that Tevin Coleman did with Mostert in San Francisco. And of course, Mike LaFleur coming over from San Francisco to run the offense for Robert Saleh. So it should look a lot like, and in fact, they are running the San Francisco playbook. This one, however, is going to go out of bounds, and they're woefully short, so a punt upcoming here. So one first down and a nice strike to Herndon, and then not many yards achieved for that. Braden Mann, second-year punter out of Texas A&M, right foots this thing down to, I think his name is Chris Skrowinsky. I suppose I could look to see what his name is. We do have the technology.
And you may have noticed there on the sideline, we got a quick shot on the Jets sideline of Hamilcar Rashed. This defense actually has two of our former draft picks that were kind of those hybrid guys. Hamilcar's a bit more of that edge rush / linebacker hybrid, and then Hamza Nasirildeen is a little bit more of the safety linebacker hybrid. So that versatility was something that we were a little cutting edge on, I have to say, here on Nagy on Sports, and they were pretty good players for us.
They were. Here is a third down, a little drag route across the middle. Ja'Cory Myers tries to spin, breaks one tackle, and then he's going to go down. LaMarcus Joyner cleans him up. 4th and 5, and a punt upcoming. Sorry, I was looking up the name. Gunnar Olszewski is the name of the kick and punt returner, third-year player out of Bemidji State. Go Beavers.
That's right. I don't know what they are. Bemidji is, I've been to Bemidji. It's in Minnesota. It was about an hour and a half out of Grand Forks if you go east from Grand Forks. Sure. Yeah, so it's a little town there. They've got an interesting zoo there that I've gone to with my daughter. Oh,
there you go.
They have deer that you can basically walk right up to.
Interesting.
Yeah, a whole herd of them. Feed them if you want to.
Zach Wilson back out onto the field. 3-0 here after a 3-and-out from the Patriots. Second drive of the game here for the Jets. Little pistol look. Turn around. Give it to Tevin Coleman up the middle. Fighting his way. Just going to give him 2 before being brought down by Dietrich Wise and others on that defensive line of New England. 2nd and 8. He's going to go empty. Quick little drag to the right side. That's the tight end again, Herndon. 2 completions in the game for Wilson, both of them to his tight end, Chris Herndon. Dante Hightower makes a nice tackle.
Yeah, Hightower, nice coverage there, makes a nice open space tackle. Kind of coming up from that zone and sure tackle there.
Nice arm strength there as he throws a rocket out to the left side. That's Corey Davis, of course, who came over from the Titans and is now wide receiver 1 here. And you'll see a good look at it, good read, fires it right after the break, and that's a rope from Zach Wilson. First down yardage achieved.
He needed it to be, too. McCourty was right there, had good position on the route, but the nice throw from Wilson making that one go.
Out the middle again, Tevin Coleman to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll give him a gain of 2. Runs into Kyle Van Noy. Right in the middle of this defense, another player they spent some money on. Here's a dump off left side. There's the rookie, Michael Carter. His first touch of the game. He's across the 44. To the 44, rather, across the 45. 6 yards, going to set up a 3rd and manageable here, 3rd and 2. They go double tight ends. Wilson under center. Stretching it right side. Oh, huge opening. It's Coleman. He cuts back to the middle. Juke move, and he's up to the 30-yard line. Nice run there. 14 yards for Tevin Coleman and a first down, Jets.
Yeah, Tevin Coleman coming from the 49ers to join this roster here. Does a nice job kind of finding his room up through space. Makes a nice read out on the outside, and then cuts it back against the pursuit and a little bit of that bend cut that we've talked about. Finds a little bit of some real estate to work with. Really nice vision there from Tevin Coleman, which is what you expect. Coming out of that zone scheme, he's obviously had a lot of practice with that kind of a read.
Sure, yeah. His offensive coordinator comes over with him, and you would assume he's going to be real comfortable with that offense. All right, that's the end of the first quarter. 3-0 Patriots here. Though the Jets are driving. Wilson in trouble, throws it dangerously, and it's almost picked. His receiver did a nice job to kind of swat it away late.
Yeah, dangerous
Wilson
indeed.
got hit as he threw, yeah.
Although, a bit of a correction for you there. He's actually, Saleh was actually their defensive coordinator at the 49ers.
Yes, but also Mike LaFleur, who was their pass game coordinator, came over with him.
Yeah. That part, yes. Correct.
So that's why they're running the offense.
Yeah, okay. I was like,
yes, Shanahan, I think, technically. Yep.
Yeah, no, Shanahan is effectively the offensive coordinator for the 49ers. I mean, that is his offense. So yeah, you're right.
Yes, he gets a promotion from pass game coordinator to full-fledged offensive coordinator, and I would assume play caller.
Yeah, and that probably is the case, and you're right. It will have a very 49ers look to it. No, I thought you were talking about Saleh, which is why I was like, no, I'm pretty sure he was defense. But
oh yes, no, he was absolutely the defensive coordinator. So that's why they have the defensive playbook of.
Right.
The 49ers.
Now I'm tracking.
It's all right. Appreciate you keeping me on check, though. All right, Sam Ficken ties the game 3-3 as Olszewski brings it out to the 23 here. Been a little bit of a slow start for both offenses. After that opening drive where the Patriots drove all the way down the field and then took a big sack to set up a 3rd and goal from like the 30, and they just had to settle for a field goal. There's another throw to Nelson Aguilar. Now Cam 11 for 12 to start the game.
Yeah, he's having a solidly productive game. I mean, these drives are, taking forever because he's not throwing them very deep. We haven't seen a pass beyond about 10, 15 yards in the air. But, that's what you got to do with the way his arm is these days. And that's kind of the scheme. That's what they've kind of schemed up for him to be, try to make him successful in this offense.
There's another screen, and C.J. Mosley blows it up. Actually, 2 plays in a row with C.J. Mosley blowing it up as he laid the boom on Sony Michel on the previous run. 3rd and 15 now as Belichick looks onto the field.
Yeah, C.J. Mosley is just so good. He's a great linebacker in space. Really has a feel for what offenses, what offenses are trying to do to him, and he really flows nicely, and he definitely can lay the wood.
Absolutely, yes, and he was in coverage on that dump off too. Not that it would have gone very far, but good coverage there as well. Jamison Crowder, the punt returner, takes it to the 22.
Yeah, he actually
Zach Wilson back out on the field.
He actually had good position on that coverage. I thought for a moment he was going to come away with a pick. He had better position than the receiver did.
Back to pass Wilson. He's got a drag route. He wants it. He takes it. It's Jamison Crowder. Short gain, just 2 yards now. Zach Wilson 6 for 9 for 44. First catch of the day for Crowder.
At the 24-yard line.
Stretch it to the right side, and Coleman's going to get ripped up and ripped down to the ground. Chase Winovich, edge player out of Michigan, makes a nice tackle there. As you can see, Belichick instructing the offense, getting involved in the offense. Going to bring up a 3rd and 10. 4 wide. Wilson back into a shotgun. Back to pass. He's got his man out of the slot, little out route. First down and more. Well, barely more.
Yeah.
That is Elijah Moore, the rookie little slot receiver extraordinaire out of Mississippi. A lot of people the Browns maybe thought were targeting with maybe their second-round pick. It would have been hard to see them take him in the first round, but he's got all kinds of talent and upside, and he gets a nice first down there.
Right, but he certainly didn't last that long, and I think you would take JOK over him anyway, even if he were.
Yes.
But that being said, again, Madden lay the blame a little bit at Madden's door. Elijah Moore, like you said, it should have been first down to and more by a considerable amount if he just kept running up the field. Instead, cuts back to the pursuit right into the defender, gets tackled just past the sticks instead. So, that's honestly, that has to be one of my biggest bones to pick with the way Madden is playing these days. It seems we've gotten most of the shuffle sacks out, and some of the, obviously the clock management and situational football is not great. But one of the biggest impacts, again, this is a game of inches, and at times when you can make, 10, 15 extra yards that aren't happening, that's a big deal.
Yeah. But they're going to be looking for some impact rookies to make plays. Obviously, Zach Wilson. But Elijah Vera Tucker, who they took, is going to be starting at guard for them. Elijah Moore, Michael Carter. I mean, these are guys who they are going to be counting on. We already talked about Nasirildeen. We talked about Hamilcar Rashid. There's another guy named Michael Carter who's going to be playing cornerback for them. So they had a boatload of rookies coming in. Jamie Sherwood, who is another kind of freak athlete guy that some Browns fans were coveting later just because of his raw skills and abilities. Brendan White, who of course played at Ohio State for a while before transferring to Rutgers. He's another physical kind of safety linebacker hybrid. So Kenny Yeboah, who's a tight end from Ole Miss, made this depth chart and made the 53. So rookies all over the place for the Jets, and if they can hit on a few of them, they could turn this thing around. And obviously Wilson being the most important, they could turn this thing around. They already have Mekhi Becton, of course, last year's first-round pick, who's potentially an anchor on that left side of the line for a long time as well. So they could be turning it around quickly here in New York.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a lot of young talent. Obviously, you need to hit on some of that. And the biggest question mark will be Wilson, like you mentioned, and if he can really be what they hope he can be. And if he's not, then they might be in a lot of trouble and may not go anywhere with all this young talent. But that being said, I'm a bit surprised that they're in the position they're at right now, and our sim 3-1 doesn't seem very likely with all that young talent. They've got to develop all those guys still. I mean, not all of them are going to be ready to start and have huge success.
Broken tackle, Jonnu Smith, 10, 5, tripped up at the 1. Jonnu Smith, they're going to call him down at the 1-inch line.
I think that's a bad spot. I think he was in. He got tripped up, and the ball crossed the plane. To me, that looked like a touchdown.
What a nice play. Let's watch this one again. I thought he was down for sure. Jonnu Smith. Two different players had a chance right here. Joyner, and Bryce Hall, and he just kind of ducked both of them, but he did get tackled. Good pursuit. Marcus May chasing him down. Free safety, and they're going to have to score from the 1-foot line here. 3 tight ends into the game. Cam back to pass. Pressure coming in his face. He's got a wide open Aguilar back of the end zone.
Too easy.
They're going to say he was
out of bounds. Oh, I guess he only had 1 foot in. I didn't get a good look at it.
Bad calls. Back to pass again. Cam across the middle. Waiting. Knocked away. Marcus May stuck his left paw up there in front of the receiver. Brings it up 3rd and goal.
And he had the right corner of the end zone wide. He actually had an easy touchdown on that one.
And now Sony Michel's going to get ripped down for a huge TFL as Nasirildeen right there. He's 45. Rips him down, and now they're going to settle for a field goal here. 4th and goal from the 1-inch line. 2 incomplete passes and a backwards run.
And set up by really, Jonnu Smith was robbed. I mean,
he should have been in.
That was a touchdown. He was tackled at the 1, but the ball and his momentum before his knee goes down carries him into the end zone, breaks the plane. That's all you need. So long as your forearm, your knee, hip, those parts of your bodies haven't contacted the ground yet. Which they hadn't, and the ball went across, so that was a very, very dubious spot.
Yes, certainly unlucky. We'll see if they're going to be chasing those 4 points here.
Right, and then not to mention the remainder of the game. The no even review on the back line of the end zone for that pass. So.
50 moved there. That's the rookie Michael Carter. could see some of his explosiveness, but they are going to call holding on Mekhi Becton. They're going to pull this thing back.
So back to the young talent real quick on the Jets, though. That's why I was surprised, like I was saying, that they're 3-1 at this point. I don't expect them to, hit on that many starters. That just would be unprecedented to be able to have that big of a draft class come in, start in so many critical positions, and have this much success early in the season. Regardless of who you're playing,
Sure.
That would be unprecedented. I'd say this team's probably a good 2 to 3 years minimum,
sure.
maybe a few more outside of being developing enough of that talent to the point where they've got something.
No, for sure. I think the other thing about it too is, especially with rookies, like Madden's just looking at their ratings. You know what I mean? They're just looking at, oh, this guy's an 86 in speed. You know what I mean? Like, oftentimes they'll try to keep their awareness pretty low as rookies. Like that's supposed to be the measuring stick or whatever. But coming in, especially because we made the draft class, it was a pretty good draft class. We'll say that. We'll just say that there were dudes who were undrafted rookie free agents who were still like high 60s, low 70s in rating.
Right.
So plenty of good talent, and then obviously that guy is going to make the roster over some 4-year vet who's still at a 64, which is probably back where the rookie should belong, but because of the draft class that I downloaded and then to update it to make it PFF rankings, I buffed people rather than nerfed people, I guess, if that makes sense.
Right.
So in general, it's a pretty aggressively successful draft class, so teams with a lot of rookies like this one are getting a little extra benefit from that.
Right.
So it is what it is. So yes, it may be a little bit overly, like I think Zach Wilson's already up to a 77, for instance, and Cam Newton's like a 74. So in terms of just Madden ratings, they think that Zach Wilson is already that much better than Cam Newton. So
right. Well, and if he really is what they hope he can be, like a up and coming next Mahomes, I mean, sure. I mean, a 77 doesn't seem out of the realm of possible in his rookie season. I mean, I think that feels pretty comfortable, especially if he can develop to be a 99 overall Mahomesian guy. I mean, now do I think that's very likely? No, but that's because Mahomes is such a unicorn, and you can't just. Oh, well, he's throwing off platform and doing some impressive things at the college level. They took huge risk on Mahomes he could do some of those things at the NFL level. And many folks were very down on that because it's just such an unknown. And the fact that he still can do all of those things at the NFL level is, I mean, if it could have been done before, it would have been done.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, right up the middle with Tevin Coleman, and the rookie Christian Barmore throws him to the ground. As we're approaching the 2-minute warning here, just this 6-3 game, kind of grinding along slowly.
I guess I would say there's a reason why the prototypical and textbook, if you will, approach exists, because that's the tried and true method. Now, just because you don't necessarily have to follow that, and it can still be successful at the NFL level, I mean, some of those X-factor traits, some of those things that you just can't measure and you can't really get a sense of come into play, certainly. And don't get me wrong, don't say that I don't think those things aren't important in and of themselves. They're just so rare for things that are abnormal to shine at that level when that's not at all how it normally would work.
Absolutely. So Wilson escapes the safety. His forward progress had him down at about the half-yard line, and then on 3rd and long, he just throws it away to save a safety, and they're going to have to punt from in their end zone here. So with 1:46, 2 timeouts left, assuming they're going to kick this into 2-minute offense, maybe the Patriots can get themselves into a position to extend this lead. 6-3 now. Little bunch of receivers to the left side for Cam Newton, and it's another screen because that's what they do, and he's going to be tackled pretty quickly, just a gain of 2.
Feels like there's been a huge uptick in screen passes called, kind of irregardless of the teams. It's been
But I don't know. I mean, I can go. I'm still using the live playbooks for all of the other teams. I guess I could go back to not the live playbooks.
Well, I don't know that that'll fix it necessarily. I don't know. I have no idea what if. Wow,
Oh, nice broken
play.
tackle there. Kendrick Bourne all the way down to the 13. All he needed to do was step out of bounds. He does not, but a nice spin move out, and we're getting the play all the way down to the 13 now.
Hey,
Kendrick
Kevin,
Bourne, another.
In.
Yes, hi, Kevin. Another former 49er there, Kendrick Bourne, on the other sideline here for New England.
Yeah, a lot of them.
They will go ahead.
A lot of them in this game.
They will go ahead and call timeout.
Former 49ers out there on the field.
1:01 to go, 1st and 10 from the 13. Cam in a shotgun. Some motion coming from Nelson Aguilar, top of your screen. Cam sees him dragging across the middle, goes to Aguilar inside the 10 to the 7. Clock still running, just 55 seconds. No reason to rush just yet here. If you're the Patriots, plenty of time. Yeah, Kevin, our offense struggled a little bit in that one, but our defense, man, they're so good.
So good.
It's not fair. And as we talked about in that game, like there's no weird trade all your draft picks to get Fletcher Cox and Cam Hayward. Like that's the real roster that you're watching.
Yep.
Based on what Madden thinks of them. You know what I mean? Like I didn't go in and make Tack McKinley super sweet or Jadeveon Clowney super sweet or even JOK. We took some guy's draft pick, some guy's draft class. I didn't buff any of the guys at the top.
Adjusted for what PFF thought of.
Yeah, it was mostly
PFF was hugely high on our draft class. So
sure,
that worked out in our advantage.
Well, yes, in terms of our guys, absolutely.
Right, but we didn't set the PFF ratings after the draft had happened. We had done all the PFF rating before the draft.
Yes.
So all that stuff was it just so happened PFF really liked our draft class. If you look at what PFF has to say about our draft class, they're very high on it.
Absolutely, that one's going to go out of bounds at the 1. Looked at it several times. And finally into the end zone. Oh yeah, that
it was rough.
That block at the back from Denzel.
It was rough.
That Delpit took all the way to the house and then called it back.
Well, the other thing I was going to say, now they both happen to be on defense, but really we only have 2 what you would call starters, and GOK is debatable because he's more of a role player on our defense. But we only have two quote unquote starters on our team that are rookies. When we're talking about how the rookie class might be a little bit inflated for what they might end up being. So we're only getting impacted a little bit on that front, one corner, and then more of a role player. Linebacker, because he's still not the starting Mike or anything. He's just in there when they're in a nickel or less, right? So not the full dime, because that'll be your safeties in those kind of positions.
I think we made him. I think we made him the single linebacker when they're in a traditional 4 DB dime look or a 6 DB dime look.
Right. Yeah. The full on some of those formations. Yeah.
Yeah, but in nickel, he's not in. It's Anthony Walker and Harrison lined up as the other linebacker.
Right. So he's kind of a sub-package pass set, linebacker.
And really again, we chose to put Newsome over Greedy. Ratings-wise, it should be Greedy.
Yep. So yeah, and Greedy is a superstar because he played in our shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yes.
So he actually had that full year of development, and he was a superstar. Yet we're starting the rookie over him. So, it's been the defense and exactly what AB's vision for this defense without mortgage in the future, but what AB's vision for the defense is and really could be, and so exciting to see it really come together and. Demolition Dogs coming out to play, the Orange Crush or Tang Bangers, whatever you want to call them. They have been alive and well on that field, and it's been without us having to go in and just trade away crazy capital to make it happen.
I didn't make JJ3 sweet. I didn't make Troy Hill sweet.
Yep.
I didn't make Anthony Walker good. I didn't make Malik. Of course, we haven't seen much of Malik Jackson. He's been hurt. He's still got 2 more weeks left on an injury.
Yep.
Here's Tevin Coleman. Nice run for him. So back-to-back nice runs, Michael Carter and Tevin Coleman.
Speaking of Malik Jackson, though, if you haven't seen it, the best podcast available to drop today has an interview with him, which is a really cool interview. Neat to hear him talk about, working with these rookies and his experience as the veteran. He's the second oldest player on the roster,
at what, 29, 30 years old, something like that?
Exactly.
31?
Yeah, so he is the wily, crafty veteran, if you will, on this roster, or one of them certainly, and kind of interesting hearing him talk and his experience and some of the greats that have touched his career that he's worked with. So
yeah, it's excited to have him in the locker room for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm excited for him to get healthy so we could see him here in a couple weeks in our sim, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the guys that have been filling in for him, Marvin Wilson, Togiai, those guys have looked great. And from what I've seen, McDowell is looking really good in
we may have to end up making him after all.
Yeah, he's looking really good. We've got so much talent in that room. It's going to be crazy, the talent they're going to have to cut out of that room.
Absolutely. Here's a wide open. Speaking of rookies, there's Kenny Yeboah right on cue. And he takes that one right down the seam to the 23. Huge run after catch there for Kenny Yeboah. All right, 13-3, Zach Wilson under center again. Got some strength to that right side. They're going to throw that direction quickly out of the backfield. It's just a quick tight end flare, maybe a yard. Yep, just a yard there. Chris Herndon, 6 catches, though, for him. We told you he is definitely the favorite target right now of young Zach Wilson.
Yeah, no, that defense has been playing together so nicely and really exciting to see it. It's been the difference as the fumble on the play picked up by the offense.
And a first down. That's the rookie Michael Carter.
Yeah, Herndon
gets the
on
ball
the spot.
knocked out, and then Chris Herndon just following the play, scoops it up and runs for an extra yard or 2, first down.
Yeah, nicely done. Well, not so nice on the fumble, but good shot by Herndon to be there to prevent that from being disastrous.
Absolutely. Right side, it's Tyler Croft, the second tight end, and he's in. Touchdown.
Wow, I'm surprised he didn't step out. I thought he had stepped out there on the sideline. It looked like his foot might have been just on the line.
Yeah, it was a nice cut.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I think George was telling us about, just like their cuts and their animations are a little bit quicker and cleaned up in the PS5. And that definitely looked like we got an example of that there. That was a really quick cut for Tyler Croft. Good old Tyler Croft, Tomb Raider. And he's in for the touchdown. Jets right back in this football game now. Good opening drive for them of the second half, as Wilson was 4 for 5 on that drive. Kicking off here. Tyler Croft was where? In Cincinnati? Or Buffalo? I'm trying to remember where he was at before he came here.
Not entirely sure. Hold on.
He was somebody else's backup tight end for a couple of years. And I want to say Buffalo or the Bengals. Those are going to be my 2 guesses. You can check me. You can Googs him for me.
Wikipedia, but same effects.
That's fine.
It was the Bengals. You were correct.
Bengals. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Behind Eifert and
actually no, he was Bengals and then Bills and then Jets.
Oh, well,
so
there you go. So
I
was doubly correct then. Yeah, I was going to say I feel like I remember him in both.
Well, it popped
jerseys.
up. Yeah, it popped up with him in a Bengals jersey with the picture, so I knew that was right. And then, so Bengals 2015 to 2018, Buffalo Bills 19 to 20, and then now with Jets.
There we go. 3rd and 1, and just a big-time pile of bodies, and I don't think he's going to get it. They're going to call him short by a half a yard. Marcus Mays sticking his nose into the pile. Very talented free safety who they franchised, and Belichick's going to punt again here from his own 35. Jake Bailey comes on to right foot this thing down the field. And it looks like we're going to get a block in the back. That was a pretty easy call for the ref. Yep.
Yeah, it was easy.
Watched it happen right in front of the returner there.
That's right.
Good old Javelin Guidry. I had no idea who that person is.
I don't know either.
All right, little boot action. Watch out. Ball's out. It's in the end zone. It's just sitting there. What? and it's going to be scooped up by Wise. Touchdown! What a play.
Wow.
That ball just sat there in the end zone, and then all of a sudden Wilson tries to scramble back to it, but Dietrich Wise, the defensive back, gets his own strip sack and then falls on it for a touchdown, and just like that, the Patriots score quickly after their punt, 20-10.
Anything like that before. That was wild. It was like they lost track of the ball, didn't know where it was, just kind of standing there like, where's the ball? And it's just sitting there in the end zone like it was camouflage there or something.
Yeah,
and then
the wide left receiver kind of saw it late. Yeah. You could saw him sprinting back to it, but it was like
almost got there too.
Why? It's just sitting there. What's going on?
That was
pretty wild.
That
it was like they were setting up a screen or something, and all the rest of the defense was going with the offensive lineman, so nobody was even close to the play.
Yep.
As he's pressured again, he's just going to throw this one away out of the sack. Right up the gut again. Christian Barmore, he's playing well in this Patriot defense.
You know, that fumble had kind of, and it just was, he's going to get picked. 2 turnovers in a row. That's ugly here for Wilson.
Another play action. They did a nice job to pick up the blitz, and then he threw a dart right at Kyle Duggar.
Yep.
Good old Lenore Ryan.
That's right.
D3 player. He was a rookie last year. All the physical traits you'd want, but again, how does a D3 kid translate? And he had a pretty good season, and he high points that ball nicely.
I was going to say he was a very good player on this Patriots defense. He was he had a very nice rookie season. Expect him to continue to develop in this defense.
Indeed, and just like you've been to Bemidji State, I've been to Lenore Ryan, North Carolina. Very small little D3 college.
Right, your mic right there, whatever that was that muted effect.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I was refreshing I exited out of your screen share and then went back to it. I wonder if that had anything to do with it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Sometimes my Discord gets just a little bit pixelated and laggy, so I just exit out of it and then go right back to it. But maybe that had something to do with it. Somebody's going to wiggle, and that's going to make a 3rd and 1 turn into 3rd and 6 now. The Patriots really have an opportunity with a touchdown here, maybe to put this one away. Pressure coming as they set up yet another screen. A little bit of space. He's got blockers, but he runs completely in the wrong direction from those blockers. And Sonny Michel will not pick up the first down, and another field goal upcoming.
Yep. Yeah, actually,
except they're going to go for it.
Speaking of, this is interesting here. Wonder if you're going to see a cam run on this one.
Oh, he's going to be back to pass. He fires right side. It's Jonnu Smith. Nice little body block of the defender. Catches it, spins around, and he's down at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Patriots. A little fullback dive up the middle. It's Danny Vitale, former Brown.
That's right.
He's up to the 2. Caught him off guard, though. Nice 3-yard run. They should have just run that on 4th and inches last time they were there. Left side, and he's got it. It's a touchdown, and it's Hunter Henry. So impact plays now from both of those high-priced tight ends. Still not necessarily sure you can justify the purchase price for both, but both of them have had impact plays, and now a 17-point lead with just about 21 minutes of game left.
So back to Lenore Ryan and Kyle Duggar. I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch any of his tape in the build up to that draft, but he was a guy that I certainly had some interest in. He's a bit of an athletic freak in that he just has. Granted, he's playing with a lot of D3, much smaller and less athletic players around him, so it's hard to translate that to how that's going to look in the NFL. But man, some of the things he was doing, you just had to feel like he was going to be, special in his own right. And sure enough, I think that showed out for the Patriots when they picked him up. He, like I said, he was a guy that I certainly had some interest in, and for our Browns, and he definitely showed a lot of that. Did in fact translate to the NFL with his work with the Patriots.
Indeed. Up the middle, Josh Adams with his first carry. No, Kevin, I did not invent the nickname JJ3.
No.
Other people did, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and I've seen it both JJ3 with the number 3, and I've seen it JJ and then the Roman numeral 3 as well. So.
Right.
again, coming out of my mouth, it doesn't make any difference. I did make up Tyler Croft Tomb Raider, though. And I made up via Twitter when I was trying to drum up some interest in the Packers-Cowboys game. I made up that Jordan Love will now be referred to as J-Lo. So, oh, you heard it first from me. Well, I appreciate it, Kevin. I cannot take credit for that.
Right.
Plenty of others have said it.
Yeah, no, we had.
Or he's said it about himself potentially too.
Yeah.
Little play action again. They pick it up. A pressure coming. Judon smacks him right in the mouth, but he gets the play off. It doesn't go very far. In fact, Stephon Gilmore just draped all over Jamison Crowder, and they won't go anywhere. Brings up a 2nd and 10. Turn around, give it Tevin Coleman up the middle. Breaking tackles, fighting his way. Nice run for Tevin Coleman.
Actually,
quietly up to 44 yards.
Kevin, I think that is actually what his teammates refer to him as. That's I had heard that reference to him in interviews that his teammates had done about him. So,
yes.
So yeah, I think that's actually what he goes by, if you will.
Nice run again for Tevin Coleman between the tackles, and can't blame him for not trying to stay committed to the run. Down 17, and they've run a lot of play action as well. We'll see if they can afford time-wise to continue to do it. A little fake of the jet sweep action and then give it immediately to Tevin Coleman, and he's going to be ripped down right away. Good tackle in space there, Jaquan Bentley. Jawan Bentley, not Jaquan.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not so sure. I believe that it's a confident or a going back to the run because for balance sake, I'm wondering how much of that is a confidence in Wilson issue with both the fumble for a touchdown and then followed short as another draw. And then followed shortly by that interception right over the middle. It seems like his confidence might be a little shook right now, and I think it almost feels like the play caller's taking the ball out of his hands. I don't know that I have a. I mean, we call him KS, quite a bit. Not that we call him that, but the initials KS fairly often for Kevin Stefanski, but I don't know that we have a nickname per se for him that we've established. We could certainly start trying to think of one.
Yeah, we could try one.
But I mean, something to do with how cool as Icy is just so even keel.
Yeah,
the guy is so it's impressive how.
Yeah, and I've tried to.
I don't know. We'll think on it. We'll think on it.
Yeah, long field goal here from Sam Ficken's going to go wide left, so this drive ends in no points. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we, cold ski. Maybe something about hit the slopes or something. I don't know. We'll keep. You can't put us on the spot. Nicknames can't just happen, right? They gotta
just go
think about it.
Cold brewski.
There you go. There you go. All right, 2nd and 6 here. They can just suck the life right out of this game if they want to, or just keep throwing darts to the left side. That's some zip on that football to Hunter Henry there. Cam Newton's looked pretty sharp again in this one. His team's well on their way to going 4-1.
And again, no passes going over 10 to 15 yards, just kind of all either check downs or those short, quick developing routes. But hey, it's been effective and very, very efficient for Cam.
Kind of a fake little pump to the right and then give it to Sony Michel up the middle. He's really struggled now. 13 carries, 19 yards, as the Jets' front seven has been pretty solid in run defense. It's been through the air and covering those tight ends that they've had trouble with. Fourth quarter, it's here, 27-10. The Jets trailing the Patriots here. Both teams 3-1. This is the Thursday night game of Week 5, of which we already saw the Browns win. High and tipped and almost picked off. Lofted that one into trouble. It should have been. Fortunate that it was not. They'll get slightly better field position if he would have picked it, but instead this one's going to go out of bounds at the 15. So I don't know, maybe a 10 yards better if he holds on to that pick at about the 25. All right, no harm from Zach Wilson's turnover. At least that one, the one where he fumbled in the end zone, there was all kinds of harm.
Yeah, real quick about, you mentioned the woes for the running game and Sonny Michel. I think some of that starts on this offensive line. You have to wonder what this O-line is going to be. Obviously, losing Joe Thuney, which was such a stalwart part of that line for so long. They had franchised him the season before because he is just that good, and obviously couldn't afford to hang on to him anymore, so he moves on. But it's been it's a bit of a question mark for this team, and Cam Newton, being who he is with the running attack you can expect. Sonny Michel is not the best back, and if he doesn't have a great O-line in front of him, he's going to struggle, I think.
Tevin Coleman up the middle again. Dante Hightower makes the tackle. 4th and 2. I feel like they got to go for it, and they will. I formation. Wilson under center. Back to pass. Right side seam. It's Crowder. He's got a wide open. He's going to go. 50, 40, 35, 30, 20, 10, 5. What a huge touchdown. 77 yards to the house on a 4th and 2.
Yeah, right when you needed it. Just beautiful ball. And Crowder had 2 steps on anybody, and there was nobody going to catch him on that one. That was just such a pretty little route. He's just sitting there, and kind of a lax zone from the Patriots, just nobody home, and Crowder's just sitting there on his little spot like, all right, nobody's going to catch me if I catch this. And sure enough, he goes the distance. And talk about the spark that these Jets needed. I mean, that was it.
Yep. Yeah, with 13:33 now, down 10, plenty of time to get yourself right back into this football game. And it really felt like the Patriots totally sold out for the run. There was nobody within farther than 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. I mean, I was like, caught it. It was like a little assignment. 5 yard. It was like a 5 yard button hook, and then he turned around. He's like, "Oh, there's nobody here. I guess I'll just run for the touchdown now."
Right? It looked like a blown assignment. Like somebody was supposed to be in that hook curl flat zone and just wasn't there. I don't know what happened to it, but because I didn't get a particularly good look at where the defenders were in terms of their zones. But obviously, you don't want to leave a relatively common route and just that wide open with nobody even in a position to make a play.
And now a big sack for Sheldon Rankins gets back there, and so defense picking up right where the offense left off, and a big-time sack as Cam Newton just holds it too long.
It has to make you wonder what the safeties were doing. Like maybe they had come up on a blitz and they just caught him. I mean, if they just caught him in a blitz coming up to the line, selling out for the run, like you're saying. But like if that maybe is why there wasn't anybody to catch him on the backside after that little bit of finds a little bit of space in that zone, and then nobody has the pursuit angle to catch him to the end zone.
Yeah, it wasn't even like it was a slant or something. Like he started from a dead stop.
Yep.
Newton right side is picked. Mosley's got it at the 5. Picked off by C.J. Mosley. 1st and goal from the 3 for the Jets, and they're right back in this game.
I was going to say, don't look now. The Jets are in this. That little bit of momentum on the offense, and look at Mosley making a great athletic play, just jumping that route. Cam didn't see him coming, and here come the Jets. Look out.
One play later, Tevin Coleman, he's in. Touchdown, Jets. We got a 1-score game here in MetLife Stadium.
Wow.
Home fans going crazy.
As they should. It's about to be a 3-point ball game.
And it is 1 play, 3-yard drive. C.J. Mosley, I'm very glad he's not in Baltimore anymore.
Yes, couldn't agree with that anymore. That he was a nightmare for our Browns.
Olszewski going to take it from the goal line. He's up to about the 25-yard line, Gunnar Olszewski. All right, now you went from a 17-point lead, all of a sudden 14 quick points. You got to kind of go into damage control mode here. Go back to the comfort for Cam, just running the ball and then some short passes. Goes quickly to Bourne, and Bourne takes a shot from Mosley.
Mosley's having just
Holy
what a game for Mosley. He's been all over the field, just making huge plays. But this last sequence of events for the Patriots felt an awful lot like the sequence of events we saw earlier from the Jets with the fumble touchdown followed by the pick, which led to more points. The same kind of thing just happened to the Patriots, and suddenly it's a very, very even game.
Another catch for Hunter Henry. He's got 9 now, but just 46 yards on those 9 catches. Here comes Michelle left side and hits the ball on the turf, but I think they recover it. Wow. Offensive lineman Isaiah Wynn falls on the football. Wow, they got lucky on that one.
Yes, they did, because the Jets were coming. About 4 of them were in the area, kind of all clawing for the ball. Lucky that Wynn was there.
This greased pig of a football now here for the Patriots cannot hold on to it.
Yep.
Cam, another strike over the middle, short catch again for his tight end, Hunter Henry, who again, we never really got, felt like he just never was really healthy in LA. We never really got to see what he could have been. And his 4 years are up and becomes a free agent, and now he's a chance for second life here. Certainly he's getting paid like he's...
I was going to say, obviously the Patriots think they know what he can be, or certainly hope they know what he can be. So, I mean, they paid him like it.
Absolutely.
Number 26,
Sony Michel again.
Kevin, my best guess on that is a recency bias for just having to put up with all those years of the Patriots being so darn good. It's good to see them not be good for once.
It's like rooting against the Yankees. Yeah,
that's right.
And maybe someday maybe someday we'll know what it feels like when the Browns are like, oh yeah, we did 6 AFC championships in 8 years, and
I mean, I can't
pencil them in, you know.
Yeah, I can't say I have a lot of Jets love. I mean, they're a big market team, and I think those teams get way more attention and way more love than they probably deserve. But being a small market team like the Browns, and I mean that in the best sense, in that great fan base, but Cleveland is not LA, Cleveland is not, Chicago, Cleveland is not New York. I mean, it's just not. Now, best fan base in the world, and you have a following that truly is worldwide because of, just the lore of the Browns, and and great, what a great franchise it is and has been, but certainly not of late until much more, very recently. But I gotta say, with just the way the Patriots had been for so long, it's just such a rarity to see teams like that, and that's why for the longest time I couldn't stand Dallas, because I just couldn't put up with just how crazy dominant they were in the Aikman and Emmitt Smith and that kind of era where they were just destroying teams and consistently, and it just kind of rubs you the wrong way when that's like, all the bandwagon fans and everything else, but I don't love the Jets either with that big market, but I'd certainly a little bit of me has to cheer for them, just seeing the Patriots go down a little bit. Take them down a peg. I'm okay with that.
Well, and we have a little bit of empathy for teams that have been perennially bad.
That's right. That's right.
and want them to get better. And I think I think it's kind of a classic. They hate us because they ain't us kind of a thing.
Right.
And so for a long time, everybody did hate the Patriots unless you're a Patriots fan.
Right. Well, and then of course the Tom Brady connection with Michigan didn't help, and then all the bandwagoning that was going on with the Patriots in particular, that's the same reason why I disliked Dallas so much, because this garbage about America's team drove me crazy.
Oh, sure.
But
you're going to get a roughing the passer on the rookie Barmore, and that's going to give him a free first down and some extra yards now.
Yeah, interesting. But no, I mean, yeah, I think a little bit about the it's good for the NFL for the teams that are in the kind of the perennial basement dwellers. It's good for the NFL for them to have that revival. That's why they work so hard on the parity. That's why the end state is every team is supposed to be in the previous setup 8-8. I mean, you can't do that anymore, but that's the idea, that you're going to be right around that 500 mark. If everything works to plan. Obviously, it's not possible that all teams are going to go that, but it's still sets up that any given Sunday concept, and that's good for the brand because that means that it's competitive and it's fun to watch, and you never know when your team could come out and shock a team. I mean, it's great. I love seeing that.
Absolutely, as Barmore redeems himself with a big-time sack, and that's going to push Wilson way back. He's got to get rid of that football much earlier. That looked like it had a little bit more traditional shuffle sack tendency to it.
It did kind of have that feel. Although I wonder if he, as the rookie, doesn't have a throwaway.
I'm sure, yeah. I don't know if he does.
So probably doesn't.
I don't know.
Maybe that might be why it was just that's still the coverage sack, if nothing else.
All right, 3rd and 24, and quietly the clock has gone under 5 minutes here. So they're going to need a big-time conversion back to pass. He fires left side. He's got Corey Davis, but he drops it or J.C. Jackson makes a good play on the football. And they're going to punt this one away. Bobbles it. Watch out! It's almost going to be blocked as he gets it off. Braden Mann, it's going to go out of bounds to the 17. Thought maybe for sure that looked like it was going to get blocked.
I thought it was going to too. Very fortunate to get that one away, and even so, not a touchback, so even gets 3 yards, advantage to the punter, which is not a lot, but still it's something.
Yep. Pressure holds up now. Here it comes around the outside, and they're going to get him. He's all the way back, and he's into the end zone. He stays up, and now he goes down. Jonathan Franklin Myers and Carl Lawson are going to sack him combined, and that's a safety.
Wow, that was a huge mistake from Cam Newton. He has to know he's in the end zone there. Yes, he stood up, but he's got to as soon as he doesn't take that sack, he needs to be throwing that ball away right now. If he doesn't throw that ball, or if he throws that ball away, no harm, no foul, I mean, come back to live another day. But, man, that is a huge mistake from Cam.
Unreal. And now the Jets with 4:20 on the clock, they're going to get the football back, and they need a field goal to win the game. They were down 17 at the beginning of the 4th quarter.
What's crazy is he obviously, after standing up, he had the opportunity to throw it away.
Yes,
because there was a window there. But on the other hand, it would have been better just to take the initial sack.
Take the sack on the one.
Just take the sack.
Absolutely. There's another dart from Wilson to Chris Herndon now, getting his tight end involved. 9 catches for Chris Herndon so far in this game. 4 minutes.
He's been very good.
Play.
Herndon, the last time we saw him was really good last time too.
Yep.
I mean, he's been solid for these Jets.
Absolutely. Here's a slant to the right side. A little juke move into the middle. A first down achieved. That's Jamison Crowder. Nice catch there. And he's got a first down for the Jets, and they're moving quickly.
Yeah, you can tell that chemistry between Herndon and Wilson is really working out. He trusts him.
Nice play. He's going to beat everybody again. What a play. 38 yards. Jamison Crowder with his 2nd long touchdown of the quarter.
That was nuts.
Oh my!
Nuts. And that was, actually, that was just a beautiful touch pass from Wilson. Puts it just out of the reach of the defender there, where only Crowder can come down with it. And Crowder.
Stephon Gilmore trying to go for the pick.
Yeah. And Crowder, nice play, and obviously Gilmore had no chance to make the tackle after he sold out on trying to get that pick. So now going for 2 here. What a game this has been. 3 minutes left, and the Jets suddenly are winning it.
And it's the rookie Michael Carter, and he's wide open, and he led us the LeBron Powder celebration. 34-27, 21 unanswered points in a really unorthodox fashion. We got safeties. We've got defensive touchdowns, and now the ball comes out. Wait a minute, wrong screen. The ball comes out again, but it's picked up by the Patriots. Oh, my.
Oh, my, indeed.
Cats and dogs living together.
This is the ultimate, what is happening?
This is what is happening. The Patriots, it was 27-10. With the beginning of the 4th quarter, and here we are now. They're down 7, and they're going to have to drive the football field to win the game, to tie the game.
If you're a Patriots fan, you have to be pulling your hair out right now. This is insane.
Yeah.
You had this game virtually locked away. You just needed to run out the clock at up 17 points, and suddenly look out, here come the Jets. And
they did all kinds of throwing the football. He got a pick, he got sacked, he got a safety. Like, why aren't you just running the ball?
Granted, Sony Michel was not good in this game. This offensive line struggled to create holes for him. I understand that, but like as much as you can, run off the clock. Now they're trying to catch up from behind, which is not a position they want to be in with Cam Newton. That's not what he is built for anymore.
Well, we haven't seen Cam run once this game.
No.
You look at that stat right there at the top: 40 passes to 20 runs.
Right, but they've all been
team.
Short, quick passes and or dump offs. I mean, he's had nothing pushing, stretching this field, and he's not in a position where 2 minutes is not enough.
Yeah. There's a nice throw to Jonnu Smith, and again, he's got 334 yards. But remember, Jonnu Smith had like that 65-yard catch after a broken tackle in the first half. And remember, we talked about if they were going to be chasing those points. At that point, it became 6-3 on that touchdown they didn't get.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're still down here, but now a field goal would tie it because it would be 34-31.
That's right. That's
so those
a huge,
4 points start looming huge.
That is absolutely massive here, and kind of unfortunate for them that the refs are the ones who kind of
dropped it.
Kind of dropped the ball, if you will, on that call. I mean, he was clearly in. There's no question. Jonnu Smith was in.
Yeah.
I mean, and then definitely caught the ball in the end zone also. So twice that the refs really, messed with the fortunes of the Patriots. Is not able to come up with that catch on the outside.
It's going to be it.
Yeah, that will be it. Minute 13 left. This game is over.
It is 4th and 2. They went with the deep shot down the left sideline. Not sure what Bryce Hall was doing there. Just running.
Well, he should have had that. That was not a good effort from the receiver.
Nelson Aguilar, yeah.
He should have had that.
All right, Andy used a timeout earlier, so now you just have one remaining. But Tevin Coleman's going to fight his way and maybe gets the first down anyway, so it's a moot point even if you had 3 timeouts because you gave up the first down. And the Jets, how about those Jets?
Yeah, speaking of which, where's Andrew when you need him? He would have loved this game. This was just his style of game. What a comeback from these Jets.
That's right, exactly. And he's a Giants fan. I don't know if Giants fans are also Jets fans or not.
Some of them I know are. I don't know that all of them are. I have no idea whether or not he likes the Giants. But
yes, you're right. This was definitely
likes the Jets. I mean,
definitely an Andrew game, close and exciting, and that's it. 000 on the clock, and Belichick cannot believe it. His team absolutely wets the bed. They led 27-10 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. 2 long touchdowns, a defensive touchdown, a safety, a 2-point convert. I mean, it was just a comedy of errors here.
That's right.
And the Jets are going to escape and take sole possession at the top of the AFC East, going 4-1 here on the young season, and the Patriots dropped to 3-2. What a game.
Just wild. Absolutely wild.
It really was. All right, let's take a quick gander at the stats. Zach Wilson, he was 26 of 36, 313, 72%, 3 TDs, 1 interception. He played a very smart game early and then a good game late. Cam Newton, 36 of 45 for 340. That's 80%, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. On the ground, here's where they really struggled. Sony Michel, 15 of 25, and maybe that's why they didn't choose to run the ball, I guess, at the end.
Yep, I think so.
James White was a little better. Danny Vitale, of course, we talked about having a run as well.
Yeah, that 1.6 average is just not going to get it done. I mean, that's abysmal, and you're not going to win very many football games if you can't run the ball more than a 1.6 clip.
No, you're not. Kudos to the Jets, though. Even then when they were down, they stayed with Tevin Coleman, 21 for 76. He did get into the end zone and rewarded them as such. A couple of fumbles there from your rookies in Carter and Wilson. Receiving, it was all about Chris Herndon today. We told you that. 9 for 63. But how about Jamison Crowder? 6 for 137 and 2 TDs. Remember, the first one was 77 yards on a 4th and 2. And then he scored that 38-yarder to give them the lead there late in the fourth quarter. He had a whale of a game. Elijah Moore, the rookie, with just 2 catches for 30 yards today. For the Patriots, all of those yards came courtesy mostly, again, of the 2 tight ends. As you see there, 10 for 60 for Hunter Henry, 7 for $114 for Jonnu Smith, who had that big long run after the catch but was called down at the 1-yard line. Other than that, 5 catches for Aguilar, 5 for White, 4 for Michelle, 3 for Bourne, and 2 for Ja'Cory Myers. Defensively speaking here, Patriots are led in tackles by Kyle Van Noy, now in his 7th season. You could see there another one of their big money pickups, I think came from the Dolphins, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah.
13 tackles for him, 8 for Hightower, 7 for McCourty and Wise. Wise, of course, was the one who had that sack. In fact, he had 2 sacks in the game, one of which he then scooped up for a touchdown. Christian Barmore with the other sack. And then, again, we talked about second-year player Kyle Duggar from Lenore Ryan with that great interception.
So back to Van Noy, I think he actually originally was a Patriot, went to the Dolphins, and then came back to the Patriots. But let me look and make sure that I'm correct on that.
Okay, that's fine. That does sound familiar. I kept thinking, like, wait a minute, has he been on the whole time? I thought he did go somewhere else. C.J. Mosley, as we talked about, just a whale of a game. How about 15 tackles, 10 of them solo, 3 TFLs for the young man today. And also, how about 1.5 sacks across the board here? Franklin Myers, Rankins, Quinton Williams, and Kyle Lawson. That is your starting front 4. That's an efficient game for those folks. And then Mosley also had the interception, which he returned down to the 3, and they scored a play later with the rookie Michael Carter. So just an absolutely wild game here. 34-27 is your final again. And the New York Jets, the Jets, Jets, are in first place in the AFC East now, 4-1 after 5 weeks of football. Kit, let's wrap this one up.
Yeah, real quick, just to answer the question on Kyle Van Noy, he in fact was with the Patriots. He was drafted by the Lions in 2014, went to the Patriots 2016 to 2019, played in Miami for just the 1 year in 2020, and came back to the Patriots.
Okay.
So was in fact, my memory did serve, and then in fact he was with the Patriots and then went to the Dolphins and then went back to the Patriots.
There you go. All right, so we continue to both be right there. We're 2 for 2 on our. Did they go there before this game?
That's right.
So anyway,
yeah. To wrap
awesome
it up,
game.
though,
Anything else you want to say? Yeah.
I was just gonna say. I mean, yeah, wild finish in that one. Turnovers and safeties and just all kinds of crazy things going on. In the NFL, you win them however you can, and sometimes. It's just sticking with a game plan until it works, and that's kind of what happened for the Jets. They did what they needed to do to get the job done, stuck with it, and didn't give up throughout that entire thing. It almost felt like the Patriots kind of did, which I know will make Belichick furious. So, I think they've got some adjustments to make, and you're going to have to certainly do some soul search and figure this one out, because that one was not a good look for them.
No. It absolutely was not. Just a wild, wild game overall. So, all right, everybody, we appreciate you being on. You guys are the best. Thank you so much, especially to our subscribers. We're sort of in our summer push as we try to get to 1,000. Again, you saw we've done a couple of NBA games. Kit and I have talked about maybe doing a couple of FIFA things, maybe some MLB as we experiment with some other sports. But obviously, first and foremost, will always be a Madden channel. So thank you so much to our subscribers. You guys have been the absolute best. Today we'll say go Jets. Heck of a game for them. And as always, go